everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. So today we'll be dealing with the same topic of clocks. Now there is another subtopic, that is faulty clocks. Okay, so how do you deal with this? Okay, now in faulty clocks there are two kinds of questions that are being asked. One is about, it is telling that after this much interval the clocks are meeting. So normal meeting time, as we understood, is 65 minutes and 5 by 11 minutes. Okay, 65 and 5 by 11 minutes. Now they will give this different times, and based on that they give questions. So that we will see first. Other faulty clocks is in which the clock gets slow or fast, 5 minutes fast, 10 minutes fast, every 24 hours, like that. So these are two kinds of faulty clock questions. We'll see both. Okay, now let's see. First thing, that you need to just these two note points. So if a clock has stopped working, then also it will show correct time twice a day. Of course, when everything rotates, so twice a day it will show correct time for a 12-hour clock. And another thing, if anything is written, for example, that the clock becomes 5 minutes faster every day, that is 24 hours, then it won't be like when you are counting one day then it will be 5 minutes. Actually this clock is 5 minute fast. That means every minute, every second it is slightly faster than it should have been. Okay, so if it is 5 minutes faster in 24 hours, in 1 hour it will be 5 by 24 minutes faster. Similarly, for 1 minute, it will be this much faster. So whenever we are calculating this, you need to keep in mind that it is not about days. You can always calculate per hour how much slow or late it will be. Understood? Now, let's start seeing with the first kind of questions. Now see this. So what it says, this says the minute hand of a clock overtakes the hour hand at intervals of 65 minutes of the correct time. How much does the clock gain or lose in a day? Okay, okay. Now see how you do questions like this. So basically you know one thing, that if the clock is working fine, then when does the hour hand and minute hand meets? So you know they meet at an interval of 65 5 by 11 minutes. This is the ideal clock, correct? Now sometimes they will give you a clock that will take lesser time than this to meet. Let's say that will take, let's say that will take 65 minutes to meet. And they can also give you some clock which will take even longer than this, that is, let's say 66 minutes to move. Now first thing that you need to understand, that ideally, now just take two people, Ram and Sham wanted to meet each other. Now Ram and Sham originally they would, let's say, meet in 2 hours. Now if instead of 2 hours they start to meet in 1 hour 55 minutes, that means what? Ram and Shyam are moving faster. They are slightly moving faster. That's why कम time में उन्होंने उतना ही cover कर लिया. Correct? So now that means if instead of 65 5 by 11 you are this clocks hour and minute hand is only taking 65 minutes, that means the clock is faster than the original time. Similarly, just the opposite of this ideally should have met at this time, but it is taking much longer than this also. That means what? That means the clock is slower than the original time. तो ये वाली वॉच स्लो है, ये वाली फास्ट है. Understood? Now based on this, now this understanding is important, that when you are getting it faster, when you are getting it slower. Now see, so it asks how much does the clock gain or lose. So gain or lose, how you calculate? You can use this formula directly. Gain or lose, how much they will gain or lose is equals to ideal time is what? 65 5 by 11 minus whatever is the meeting time that is given to you upon upon the meeting time that is given to you into. Now this is a mistake, correct? This is a mistake. Now you need to multiply this with time interval to understand the gain or lose. Gain or lose is actually what? This is in a way error, correct? So error will be what? The difference between these two, but that is for only when they meet once. Now if they are meeting several times, then you divide it by meeting time multiplied by time interval. Whatever time interval is given in the question. For example, it may be given that an idea that a clock, see, the minute hand of a clock overtakes the hour hand at an interval of 65 minutes of the correct time. How much does the clock gain or lose in a day? In a complete day. So interval is of 24 hours. This will happen, the simple change happens in approximately 65 minutes. But in an hour, in a day, it will happen many times. So eventually, how much difference will be created, how much error will be created, or how much gain or loss will be done. Okay, now let's just put the values. This is the formula. So this becomes 65 5 by 11 minus. Meeting time is what? According to the question, meeting time is 65 minutes. So minus 65 upon 65 into time interval is 24 hours. 24 hours means in minutes 24 hours into each hour has 60 minutes. Now everything is in minutes. Now one more thing. Now, you know one and half. How can you write one and half? How do you speak this? One and half. That means what? 1 plus 1 by 2. Similar thing you can do here also. 65 5 by 11 can be written as 65 plus 5 by 11. Then you do what? 65 and 65 cancel. That's it. 5 by 11, 65. And now just multiply them. So this becomes 5 into 24 into 60 by 11 into 65. How many times will they get cancelled? So with 5, so 5 ones are, this goes 13 times. Will they get cancelled anymore? No. 11 and 13 both are prime, not divisible by anything above. So this becomes what? This becomes 24 into 6. 24 into 6 is 144. 25 into 6 is 150 minus 6. So 144, 0 divided by 11 into 13 will be what? 13 tens are 130. 130 plus 13 is 143. This is what you get. Now you can change it into mixed fraction. When you change it into mixed fraction, what does it become? 143 will go how many times? Will go one time. With 144, 1 will remain. With 10, it will go 0 times. It won't go with 10 then. It will go 0 times. What will be left? What will be left? 10 will be left, and upon 143. Simple. So 10, 10 by 143. This is your answer. Understood? Simple. First thing is understanding, is it faster or slower, and after that using this formula. Now let's do one more. Let's do this. This was asked in this year's CAPF 2025. Okay, what it says? Yeah. Uh, 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 uh. The actual time in the clock shows this. Okay. Okay. Now the initial calculation will be similar. What it says, the clock is set right at 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m. it is set right. Okay, very nice. In the morning. So this is morning. Then the minute hand and hour hand of the clock comes together every 65 minutes. Okay. So same mistake is here also. Again, this clock is slower or faster. It is meeting in 65 minutes. So this is actually faster. Then what is the actual time when the clock shows 8 p.m.? So clock is showing 8 p.m. Now see how you could have done this orally. So clock is showing what? Clock बोल रही है कि 8 बजे हैं. But the clock is faster than the original time. घड़ी तेज है. Correct. What you usually say that this clock is faster. So what you calculate always when if in your home you have a clock that is 15 minutes fast. So how you always think of the time in your head. So if it is 9:15, then you think it's 9. How do you calculate this? You subtract that by how much fast it is. So now this is 8 p.m., but this clock is actually faster. So this is time on faster clock is equals to 8 p.m. So actual time will be what? Actual time will be something less than 8. That I can say for sure. So it will be something 7 minutes and 7 hours and xy minutes some time. It may be 59, does not matter, but it must be less than 8, not beyond it. Now let's see the options. 8:05, not possible. 8 o'clock, not possible, because it is a faulty clock. It is not meeting at 6:65, 5 by 11. Third. Now see this, 8:02, not possible. Why? Because it has to be less than 8. So only thing that remains is 7:55. So answer becomes 7:55. Okay. Anyway, let's just calculate it. Let's just calculate it. How you would calculate? Calculation will be exactly same. Now we will again use the same formula. So this was 65 5 by 11 minus what is the meeting time? Meeting time is given as 65 in the question. Now 65 5 by 11 I have written as 65 plus 5 by 11. 65 cancel upon 65. Now it is asking you what is the, about what time interval it is asking you. How much hours have passed? Actually, how much hours has passed? 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So 12 hours has passed. 12 hours means 12 into 60, because each hour has 60 minutes. So this becomes what? This becomes 5 by 11 into 12 into 60 by 65. This will go one time, this will go 13 times. 12 6 are 72, so 720 divided by 11 into 13. 11 into 13 is equal to what? 143. Now if you see, you need to tell only approximate time. Only approximate time you need to find. So 143 into 5 is equals to what? So 143 into 5, 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20 plus 1, 2 carry, 5 ones are 5 plus 2 7. So this comes out to be 715. So approximately 720 715, same thing, equal. So this will, the time will come out to be 5, it will go completely, then 5 will remain by 143. So ultimately 5 by 143 is a very small number. So approximately 5 minute is the gain or loss. But still, eventually you will have to think in terms of 5 minutes ahead or behind. For that, that basic understanding of 65 minutes mein mil ja raha, that means it is a faster clock. Again, you will take 8 and subtract 5 minutes from it to get 7:55. So answer becomes C. Understood? Simple? Okay. That's it for this one. Thank you.